Hi, Namaskar, Adab, Pranam, the day of Eid, the beautiful day to talk about this, about happiness and sadness and sukha and ananda and what are they and how do circumstances of the world, your country, and situations affect that, or is it a state of mind? Now I'll tell you something. This happiness one is something which is just a passing. There are times we are happy, there are times we are sad, and it all just keeps going. There are things involved with it. One is we are an expression of nature, and like the weather, it's always changing. So our minds are always changing, our moods are always changing. You have to know who you are. You're the witness of that. And that if you understand who you are, for the Jnani, the Hakim, the wise man, is a stillness. Even the Quran says, for peace you have to get to a state of stillness. Complete stillness. And in space-time there is no stillness. You cannot be still in space-time. Space-time is always in chaos, which in the Mahakali philosophy is Kal. Kal is space, time, energy and consciousness. That is always in chaos. You have to reach the state of Mahakal, to witness of space-time. That is being in still impersonal witness to the world. When I say impersonal, the world is impersonal. It is not personal at all. Only we take life personally. In fact, most of problems in life, since I am now going to be a psychology counselor, starts with taking life personally. Anything happens that your life, that is the ego. It only sees everything from its perspective. Everything is about its life. You have to start seeing the world from a third man's perspective, a third man's point of view. It's got nothing to do with you. Even a relationship that breaks up, it may not be personal. It may be a decision your partner made for her own wellness. You have to respect that. That's what I realized with my breakups with some of them. Maybe I was the problem. And I am waiting to see one of my exes if she's looking more beautiful now, because then I will realize I was the problem in her life. Now, I say that about my own life. I was in some bands and all that, and you see that I was that time a complete junkie. Now you see my fitness photographs. I'm completely in a great fitness shape. And what I realized is they were the problem. If you are in a better, happy shape without some people who were part of your life, they were the problem in your life. And the thing is, finally, as you keep going always to finding bliss, get comfortable with yourself and your life, and the world. The world you cannot change. That you realize. I think which person was that? Rumi. He said, I was first intelligent. I want to change the world. Now I'm wise. I'm changing myself. That is the best thing to do. Change yourself to adjust to the world. You cannot change it. Whatever you do. Many people go out to change the world. For me, I find them clowns. Change yourself. Adjust to the world. Be in peace yourself. Anything is possible. You cannot be sure. Next moment something drastic may happen or something beautiful. That is the trip about taking life in the unknown. You never know what's in store. But that is a journey. You'll get into new places that no man has been before. If you follow Buddha, or you follow Krishna, or you follow Christ, you know where you're going. And you'll never go beyond that. But if you follow your own intuition, which is the highest intelligence, and which strangely all of them talk about, follow your own mind, your own intuition, not the ego. The ego will keep you in a shithole. You gotta forget yourself and wait for inspiration from the higher. How do you distinguish that? You will know. You'll have a gut instinct. This is a larger thought. It's not from me. It's coming from a supreme. And as Shri Krishna said, you are not the doer. I am a creative artist. I write books, I paint. And when I start a painting, I don't know where I'm going. I just have a rough idea. Okay, tornado. How do you go about it? And then I start painting something. And then I say, this is rubbish. I take a cloth, I'll rub it. And the end of it, I'll have something crazy. I say, oh wow, I never started out to make that. I see a lot of artists painting. And I don't find them artists at all. Please, I also, somebody else has to judge what my work is. But an artist does what he loves, and the thing is his satisfaction. But they do the same mundane thing, what was done in the 1800s, a painting of a mountain, a painting of a river. No. Times have changed. We've even crossed contemporary art. Today's abstraction. That is the stage we are in art. And no longer painting the river and the mountain and the flower. You can do that as well. That stage of art was modern art. It's finished. We are in contemporary times. We have to do different things now, and now is the stage of abstraction. It started, I forget the name of that painter who started it. It was all about abstraction, because we have crossed the stage of classical images. We've come to the stage to realize everything about life is an abstraction. Abstraction is the expression. So getting this, there are a lot of people, since social media has become a big part of our life now, I see them. And every time, every post will be a problem. One day it will be Modi, next day it will be Trump, next day it will be war somewhere. And I notice a pattern of the mind. It's got nothing to do with Modi or Trump. Now, what has Trump got to do with my life? Frankly, I don't understand. I have to make a living. I do my things and I make a living. I don't understand how Trump affects me. If you want to look at it and take the whole world's problems in your mind, it can be a problem. We have the choice to decide how we make our reality. That's why I cut off from news and media and everything, because I thought these guys are just confusing the whole shit. They're making our lives miserable. They talk about problems in Hindu, Muslim, all that jazz. I live in Hyderabad. Cheers to our minister, Anumal Revath Reddy. It's the most peaceful place. I don't know what's going on in the news. I'm sure he has enemies, and politics, they may be fighting with him. When I go in my Hyderabad, in my community, Samajigoda is the most peaceful place. There is no problem whatsoever. Everybody are cool. Hindu, Muslims, Christians, everybody is cool. Even among them, they're depressives. People who are sad, you can see them. They'll have a stern face. They're caught with that, I told you, the stiff upper lip. They have to keep a face that they don't know what's happening. So those kind of people are all over. Now, all over the world, they're happy people and sad people. It's got nothing to do with the country or a government or how the circumstances or situations are. Now, talking about these people who are saddy, it's just a pattern of their mind. They are unhappy. And they have to project that happiness with some problem outside. They're not willing to accept the problem is in them. It's psychology. We know this. I'm going to be a psychologist soon. That when a person is not unhappy, he will find some reason outside to justify why he's unhappy. So, something happens in my life, I'm not happy. Modi, that is the bastard. I'm unhappy because of Modi. I don't understand what Modi's got to do with my life. He's doing his job, and maintaining a country is not easy at all. You can never please anybody. That is part of human race, psychology. And as far as I'm concerned, the country is beautiful. You look at the streets now in Hyderabad in India. That's our Chief Minister, Anumal Revath Reddy. Clean. Everybody's doing the work. Everything is beautiful. There's no problem. If they're enjoying their work, whatever they're doing is their level of consciousness. That's something they have to do personally. There was a guru who was taking a walk and he saw a man sweeping a floor. So he asked him, what are you doing? That guy looked up and said, Kaam kar raha hoon. I'm doing my work. He said, thank you. He blessed him and he went on. He went further. He saw another man, another lady. She was also sitting and she was putting garbage in a dustbin. So he asked him, what are you doing? She said, "Main puja kar rahi hu. I'm praying." Man blessed her and said, you got the right perspective. That's what you got to do. We've got to start looking at work as prayer. Every moment as a tribute to God. That's what even Krishna said. Do your work in all your honesty. Don't worry about the rewards. That's in my hands. Unfortunately, with the Western psychology and the mindset that came, first think of the awards. I have some friends who came and they asked me, oh, you're painting. How much did you make from it? And I kicked all those guys out. I don't paint wondering how much I'll get money. They're all looking at me from the ass. They take up a job, how much is the salary? There's one guy I knew. He was in Hyderabad. And he said, I'm moving to Delhi. So I said, what's the reason? He said, I'm getting more salary. I said, okay, let him go. You cannot change anybody. You got to let man find his own solutions, his own decisions. So I let it be. After about 10 to 12 months in Delhi, he's back in Hyderabad. He didn't even call me because he realized he made a fool. I didn't tell him what. He realized, no, Hyderabad is better. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes to Bombay next, thinking that is happiness. All bloody clowns. You have to do an inquiry on yourself and realize what life is, what's happening. This extra money, taking any job you want, is not it. In even work, that's one way of taking life. You can do whatever work. As in Hindi, they say, दुनिया में जीने के लिए गधा को भी बाप बनाना पड़ता है. Means, to live in this world, you even have to make a donkey your father. Anywhere you go, you're going to work under somebody. So we have to carry on working. But to find your happiness, you have to break away from that. Break away from the world. Have healthy interests, hobbies. It could be anything. Collecting stamps, keeping a garden. Could be anything. Playing cricket, playing the guitar, learning music. There's so many things to learn. Learning is a never-ending process. Learn some hobbies. The thing is having healthy hobbies and breaking away from that world which we have to live in, which is chaos and never a pleasing place, that we have to accept. We all have to do something for a living which you may not like, but you can find your bliss away from it. You have to break away from life that we do to make a living and spend time completely in chill, ananda, doing what you love, maybe listening to music, sitting in a garden. Today in Harvard University, they recommend students, they spend time to know how to chill because science is accepted. Neuroscience says when we are in a complete relaxed best, we get our best creative ideas. The whole thought, an empty mind is the devil's workshop, has been redundant. Empty mind is the best state to be, but not an empty mind full of yourself. Then it will be full of problem. An empty mind is the empty mind. Albert Einstein was asked, what is the speed of sound? He replied, I don't keep such information in my mind which is available in any textbook. I keep it empty, receptive to the voice of the universe, all knowing all the universe. That's where I get my ideas. So you have to keep that state, an empty mind. The mind is the place which is your freedom or liberation. Now these guys who are complaining, that is their mind. They've made that their reality. They pick up some news and they're just looking for something wrong. Now how the mind is very intelligent but not wise. For wisdom you have to go over the mind. As the Upanishad says, higher than the senses is the mind, higher than the mind is the intellect, and still higher is spirit. The man who does an inquiry will realize he's spirit, he's not the mind. He will witness the mind. These guys are stuck in the stage of the mind, and that mind is just looking for problems. And the mind is so intelligent, if it wants to find a problem, it will find it there. That's how the mind is. Now if you want to find a problem with me, you will definitely find it. When I get into problems, there is a person I live with, a Muslim girl, and she's the adopted daughter of a family. I often can't stand the woman, man. Then I tell myself, come on, chill out. You've got to learn to accept things as they are. You cannot change her life. She's the way she is. And in the process, my mom used to shout at me. And I learned to accept all this. You have to learn to be adjusted to all kinds of people. There are different kinds of people in the world. And now I just let it be. You be what you want. And there's so much peace in the house. When you stop trying to be, what is it called? It's called control freak. When you stop trying to control people. In fact, that's why they say when somebody gives you an advice, take it with a pinch of salt. He is giving you advice from his perspective of life and what works for him and how people are. They want to make everybody like them, but that's not how Indian philosophy is. We are all different. His solution may not be right for you. It's called an outcome bias. Because A.R. Rahman did that to become A.R. Rahman, or Amitabh Bachchan took his way like that to become Amitabh Bachchan, I follow them. I will also become Amitabh Bachchan. Shah Rukh Khan is the mind of a monkey. It's called an outcome bias. What worked for him will also work for me. It is not true at all. You have to find your own way. We all have different question papers and we all have to find our own answers. You can't copy in this life. You have to find your own answers. Either you take the safe path, take up a job, maybe that's what you thought it is, or you take the path of the unknown like people like me. And I find, Lord blesses me, even this, the thought of making this is not mine. It came from a larger intelligence. I felt this is something I can talk about. That happiness or sadness has got nothing to do with situations of the world. It's got to do with perspective and your state of consciousness. If you're miserable, you will find something in the world to justify it. That bust. It's because of him I'm unhappy. I'm in a gang right now. A lot of people are very angry with me. I left all those gangs. And they basically are all monkeys. Now their problem is me. I'm the problem. They don't realize the problem is their own head. I just left them. I've got nothing to do with them. I don't interfere with them in life at all. But they all show that fucker's mad, that fucker's crazy. I don't care. As somebody commented, if you worry what the world thinks of you, you can never be happy. Albert Camus, I think that was. Okay, now a song in that light about happiness and peace and countries are just frameworks in our mind. You are beyond every country, beyond the universe. They are all just places there are stages in the mind. A song by a guy who unfortunately got assassinated because he was in such a great frame of mind, John Lennon. I hope nobody does that to me. Peace. Come on, Bush. We've all moved on with time and we should accept everybody's point of view. That is democracy. I may not agree with you, but I'll fight for your rights to do it. And this is for John Spirit, a beautiful song. It's called Imagine. Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy flowers on the sky. Imagine all the people living life in peace. You imagine no possessions. I wonder if you can. No need for greed or hunger. A brotherhood of man. Imagine all the people sharing all the world. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you will join us, and the world will be as one. Imagine there's no country. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for. And no religion too. Imagine all the people living for today. Yeah, you may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you will join us, and the world will be as one. Beautiful, John. That's it. This is coming from the Spirit, John. I'm sure you don't realize it. These words are not yours. It's come from a divine realization. And you were in that space, John. I completely recognize it. I'm sure even you recognize it. I read some of your statements in some of the stuff you get now on internet. And you are a very special person. One thing John said, the last part of that song, living life for today. That's all it is. Live life for today. Zen says that. Don't live your entire life in one day. Today, the world planning this, that, going this way. We cannot be sure. And the person trying to plan 10 to 12 years from now is a complete cartoon. You never know how it will go. As even the American Marine says, all plans collapse in front of the enemy. So you can plan anything. But when the moment comes, it's completely different. You have to react to spontaneity. That needs intelligence. Chalo, cheers on that line. Any problems? Remember, it's got something to do with you. It's got nothing to do with the world. Your mind is just very intelligent. It is just using that to project that as the reason for your problems and your unhappiness. And really, it's got nothing to do with that problem or that situation. It's got all to do with you. To understand yourself and realize it's all happening in the mind. Otherwise, there's nothing there. what you're reasoning with is not objective reality. It is just relative reality to your mind. Cheers, God bless. And as the Upanishad says, higher than the senses is the mind, higher than the mind is the intellect, still higher is in spirit. Be in spirit, the witness of the human experience. Stillness, Mahakal, peace. Cheers. God bless.